Hello guys, so this is a video replacing a bit of with the technical issues that we had today. So the first thing that I want to realize is that then there is a new Kahoot with an extended time that will run until the 7th, and the new ping is 0240894. So if you've done the other one and you don't want to do this one, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna merge the results of both together, okay? So this is just a one that has extended time. So with I do recommend that you listen the entire podcast that you get into here with podcast in it. There are many episodes that you could listen, and maybe you find an episode with the founder of the creator of the video of the library that you're going to do for your video. So I recommend that you listen that episode. So this one is very interesting because it's about Jeff, that is one of the maintainers of Pandas. Yeah, so I do recommend that you listen at least from the 9:20 to the 16:24. But if you have the time, please listen the entire presentation, the entire podcast, because Jeff is quite a knowledgeable guy about pandas, and I promise you, if you work with Python and data science, pandas is what they say is the Swiss knife. Is things that you can do everything with pandas, basically. Well, not everything, but most of what you're going to be doing on your data science projects will start with pandas, or will have pandas at a point in time. So with Pandas Data Reader is a different library that is built on top of Pandas, that uses Pandas data frame. And in here, what I'm doing is basically I'm importing from Yahoo this data. And this data came, as I showed in class a little bit, but with 1,216 rows. And as you can see here, it came with open, high, low, close, and adjusted close. And as you can see in here, we have the option to say, I want that from the Yahoo Finance website. So finance.yahoo.telefonica is where I should get, if I want to get the Telefonica TEF.mc dataset. I would then, if I do this, I would then get the Telefonica dataset. But if I want to go to Brazil and want to get Petrobras, that is going to be PBR, or Petrobras SA, Petrobras 4 SA, I can just change it in here. So I would put PTR4 SA, and it would give me the result of Petrobras SA. The problem, if I change to Morningstar here or Google, it only gives me the USA data, and that's why I'm spending so much time and telling people, yeah, downgrade your data reader so that this file actually works, okay? And I'll come back to the original, and then I'll carry on. And the good thing is that you can easily get the data from Yahoo and you can start doing things. So pandas, as the guy said, Jeff says in the Yahoo, on the podcast, it's like the Swiss knife. You can do many things with it, and it's all built in pandas. And well, it's built up on top of NumPy, so it's very, very quick in the calculations. So simply, if I want to do the sum of the new elements, I can do that by running the isNu. So what I'm gonna do is, if I run that, I'll just basically I have run the file up to here, all the elements, all the lines one by one, pressing here, run the cell, and now I'm gonna just run here, and it's gonna give me the entire data set, saying that basically no data point is actually false, and if I do a sum of the falses, will actually give me 0. So no data is actually false, it's actually no. And if I just run the describe from pandas, describe is very powerful, it's basically give me the data. It's just a quick summary of my data, saying how many elements, that will count only the not new elements, the mean, the standard deviation, the mean, the 25%, what element is the 25%, the 50%, and then the max. So it's very powerful. And sometimes you want to get rid of nones, and you have the option to do it very easily with drop none. So drop none, it will not create in place, will not replace your data set if you run the drop none. So basically what you need to do is you assign back the drop none to your data, to your DF. That way you actually replacing it. In this case, nothing will change because there was no none, but in some cases there is. So you have to do that. You have to replace nones. So you have two options. One is replace drop none, just get rid of it. And then there is another option that is fill none. I'll show it in a minute. And there is another option that pandas that we use a lot, that is dot columns, to get the names of the columns. And why do we do that? Well, normally because it's quite handy to copy and paste when you have the names already in a notebook or in Spyder. So if you ask what's the index is, and if you watch the video from the standard, the video that I posted that you should watch, he talks about an index. Basically, it's the data reader knows that the data from Yahoo and from the finance world, they indexed by the date. So if you ask for the index, they will tell, well, basically the index is this, and the index is the dates. Okay? And remember, pandas was actually created for or by people from the financial world. It's being used all over today, but it's being created by the financial world. So, and the financial people, and financial people works for time series a lot. So there are many options to work with time series within pandas, and that's why it's competing so much with R. For example, resample by month. You can resample by month by simply saying resample and then get the last element. What's going to happen? It's going to get the 31st of December 2012 and then the 31st January 2013. So let's see what happened when I run this. And that's the result. If I say instead of last, if I say first, what's going to happen is that it's going to give me back. Yeah, you can see here that it changed this number. Before it was 2283. So it changed the number. Now getting from the whole month, we got the first element, but it's still giving as a result the last day. I don't know why they implemented that way, but well, it's the way that they've implemented. It gets the first element, but still gives you the last day as the index, so the index remains the last. So if you run mean instead, what you get is the mean. The mean will be the average of all the elements in the month. So you can do a lot of aggregations with pandas using the index of data, the time. So remember, pandas is very powerful in time series because it was created for time series. Nowadays it's being used for much more than that. And if you want to, as if you hear the podcast, the guy says, wow, it's a Swiss knife with a lot of things already built in. So you can easily create a graph simply calling it from pandas with the function plot, as you can see in here. And I've even knowing that it's coming actually from pandas, I've actually created I've actually added some elements to it, to the AX that I'm calling here. That is the label, the X label, the Y label, and the legend. So you can add things even though it's in the plot, it's coming from straight away from pandas. It's built from Matplotlib, but pandas has included it in that. And by the way, you can create many different types. You can create a box plot instead, so just with a box after, and things become more interesting when you're actually using more than one data. So in here, I'm actually grabbing three data, the index from Shanghai, China, from Paris, and from Brazil. And that's what you need to do in the forum, okay? Get three different indexes. And I'm running into a while with a try, and basically it's because if I get an error, I'm saying, oh, I have a problem in Yahoo, because Yahoo is very unstable these days. So I'm waiting for 5 seconds and then coming back here and trying to read it again, the three indexes, until I'm okay with the three indexes and I can carry on. And basically, pandas is very powerful with the indexes, as it actually reads three different countries. Countries have different holidays, so there'll be some missing indexes. There'll be days that there'll be no market, and pandas is able to just merge the three data frames together without much problem, knowing that if it finds a missing value in the dates, it just merge them together perfectly, as creating the dates and saying, well, by the way, this guy doesn't have the 1st of January. It doesn't matter. The 1st of January will be missing, and then it merge together the three indexes. So if I run this, it's going to go after the data and it's going to merge the three together. So as you can see, it did find a problem. So it slept for 5 seconds, but it came back. And no problem, the data is here. I can run this bit in here and I can see the data. So, and I can see the three indexes that they have merged together. And you can see here that for the first one, Asia, there was no data on the 24th of December, no data from the 25th of December, but on others there were. So it actually created a none, and that was all perfect. So yeah, sometimes you want to, basically you don't want to drop the nuns, and this method fill none with method fill lil can actually replace the none with the previous data that is available. So if I do that, I can simply now get rid of the nuns and get rid of the nuns at the top. And now I can plot the graphs. But the problem that I have is that the graphs are not in the same scale. And this graph is on the top, but I can't really see the ones on the bottom. So if I divide it by the max, I'm now able to plot the three graphs together. And then that's basically what you have for the forum. So if you want more on pandas visualization, you can click here and search for yourself many different options. Okay, guys? So I'm gonna stop the video on here, gonna upload it, and I'm gonna record a new one. Thank you very much.